This podcast is all about why I think people who invested in XRP will get a big return on their money. If you look back at 2021, it's clear that XRP didn't experience a boom like many other cryptocurrencies did. This was mostly because it had legal problems. However, I'm starting to think that these legal problems are more of a trap, maybe meant to keep regular people like us from getting involved. One of the most interesting things about XRP is what it was made for, especially when you think about the digital future we are heading into. Beverzoek location. Before we get to the good news for today, I have a quick request. If you really like what we've done, please show us some love by clicking the like button. You can become a member of our great community by doing this. Now, for some good news, we are about to give away a lot of XRP as we get closer to 60,000 subscribers. The process of joining is very easy. There are only 3 steps. Get more information as soon as possible. You won't want to miss out. If you want to be put into the prize drawing, make sure you include the word in your comments and thoughts. Everybody knows that we are about to enter a time when digitization. XRP's main goal is to make it easier to buy and sell things, not just money. In a world where tokenization is quickly becoming more common, it's interesting to think about how XRP could be built to handle the transfer of tokens and money based on assets. How this could be done depends on how well it works. On the other hand, it's possible that XRP will work with Stellar, which could be seen as XRP's partner. Sister, who is less interesting. Let's look at how XRP affects liquidity to get a better idea of why it might change the way money is sent. For example, if you want to send money from one bank in Japan to another bank in the US, you need twice as much money as you would normally. In this case, XRP plays a big role because it could change the way international money transfers work by making a lot of currency available. Next, I'll talk about how XRP might affect the foreign exchange market. Think about what would happen if a token like XRP made trades possible very quickly by releasing a lot of liquidity. This new idea has the potential to make a market much more efficient. Because of its speed, a lot of financial institutions have joined forces with Ripple, but it hasn't quite reached the point where it is used in institutional settings. To show this point, let's look at an example. If the Bank of Mitsubishi in Tokyo needs to send 100 million yen to its office in New York and then convert it into dollars, they would normally need the same amount of money in both currencies at both locations, $200 million, 0 cents tie-up. Still, if this exchange could be linked to a cryptocurrency like XRP, that would be a huge step forward. Ripple's possible choice to go public is another interesting development that should be thought about. The company is still waiting for permission from the SEC to make this decision. Judge Torres' decision that Ripple was not a security was a big step forward. I've been investing in XRP for a while, even though we don't talk about it much on the show. During the last bull market, I was able to get higher returns on my investments. Something else. While the lawsuit did hurt XRP's success, I find it interesting that the XRP community sometimes shows such intense passion that it almost seems like a devotee group. In the past, I've been too excited about a project, and XRP was no different. The thought that some of my followers may have invested money because of my excitement and then lost it makes me very reluctant to take risks. On the other hand, new fundamental analysis shows that XRP may be about to experience another surge like the one it had in 2017. This is because things are set up in a way that is similar to how they were before the 2017 surge. 2017, a lot has been said on the show about the Hunt volatility funnel approach, also known as the HVF. Francis Hunt's appearance as a guest has given us a lot of useful information. He thinks that the value of XRP will rise to $116.00, which is a big jump from where it is now, which is around $0.06. If this prediction comes true, it could be a huge win for investors. The point of the movie we're showing today is to bring attention to what I think is a big chance with XRP. It may sound like an old story, but there is strong evidence to suggest that people who have invested in these people who hold XRP are about to make a lot of money in the near future. The most important thing to note is that XRP's technical structure seems to be following a similar path to the one that led to its huge gain in 2017. Even though XRP didn't reach any new highs in 2021, this is actually a good sign for the cryptocurrency, setting it up for a future spike similar to the one that happened in 2017. Having XRP means being a person from Francis Hunt made some hopeful statements, and I agree with them. I've spent the last year studying his approach to the problem and the similarities between the trends that happened before 2017 and those that are happening now. Right now, it's hard to ignore the fact that XRP could hit $16.00. This is a strong sign that something important is about to happen. This could change for a number of reasons, such as the chance that Ripple will go public, or the fact that they just bought back their own stock, which shows that they are confident in their plan. I believe that you should include XRP in your portfolio, especially given how important fast liquidity is in today's professional world. I understand the frustration that many people who own XRP have felt, and I share that frustration. However, I think that the time we have been waiting for is almost over. The long-awaited run of XRP, which could drastically change its value and position in the cryptocurrency market, is finally about to begin. I'd like to talk about the possibility that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, may have been trying to discourage regular people from investing in XRP because they were told to do so by higher-ups in the organization. It's amazing that more and more financial institutions are working with Ripple, even though they were being sued until very recently. The fact that these financial institutions didn't back down in the face of legal challenges shows how powerful and helpful XRP. One thing that makes XRP different from other cryptocurrencies is that it is not a security. It is also one of the few cryptocurrencies with a very clear legal standing. Because of this, XRP may be able to grow its share of the cryptocurrency market as a whole, and there are technical signals that support this. Several predictions and statements made by Ripple suggest that 2024 will be a very important year for Ripple and XRP. It will be interesting to see how these predictions come true. To keep things in perspective, it's important to remember that putting all of your money into XRP now is not something I would recommend doing in 2021. Many people who bought XRP found that diversification is important, especially in the volatile cryptocurrency market. That being said, I think adding XRP to a diversified portfolio would be beneficial. In our own cryptocurrency portfolio, we have a lot of different businesses and cryptocurrencies, and each one is meant to do a certain job. For example, XRP and XLM are very important for sending money to other people and transferring. Right now, the Internet of Value is being built. And for this new ecosystem to work properly, it needs transaction channels that are effective.